You ever felt like God isn't speaking to you? Like you're praying, listening, waiting, but all you hear is crickets. I've been there. What I've learned is that God is always speaking. We just need to learn how to recognize his voice. There was a time when I questioned, is this me? Is it the enemy? Is this actually God? If you ever wondered the same thing, I want to share 3 ways to know if you're really hearing from him. Number one, God speaks in his character. God's voice will always reflect who he is. He's called the Comforter. He's loving. He's just. He's righteous and kind. He convicts, but he never condemns. So if what you're hearing is full of love, truth, and direction, it's likely God. But if it's full of shame, accusation, and hopelessness, it's definitely not him. The second way, our thoughts tend to be hurried, anxious, full of the what ifs and the self doubt and the shoulda, woulda, couldas. So we love to overanalyze. But God's voice brings peace. Even when He's correcting us, there's a sense of clarity and stillness, not that panic and fear. The third way to know whose voice is who is the enemy's voice, right? So the enemy loves to whisper lies to us. You're not good enough. You'll never get it right. You'll never make it. No one will ever love you. But here's a simple way to test if what you're hearing is from God or not. So take whatever that thought is when you're trying to hear from God and add to the end of it, and Jesus wants it that way. For instance, I'll never be able to pay my bills, and Jesus wants it that way. No one will ever love me, and Jesus wants it that way. I'm a failure, and Jesus wants it that way. Does that sound like him? Of course not, because it's not the voice of God. Those are some simple ways that I've learned how to recognize the voice of God, and I hope that it encourages you today. So spend some time this week and just sit quietly with God. Maybe write down what you think he's saying. And remember, sometimes he's not giving this big revelation. Sometimes he just wants to sit with you. He just wants to be with you because he loves you. If you've struggled with knowing if God is speaking to you and what his voice sounds like, I'd love for you to just drop in the comments a heart and let's talk about it. I hope you have a wonderful day.